Aleva, first things first, essentially 3 weeks into fall camp, what's the best thing you've seen from BYU football in the first 3 weeks?
The best thing is the energy, and one of the best things that I've seen off of the practice and not on the field is team chemistry. Something that we're being able to focus on this fall camp is the brotherhood and actually trying to emphasize being a family rather than just having it as a team break.
What made you notice that the energy was up? What was the giveaway on that?
Well, it goes back and forth. Usually our defense just kicks our butt every single day, but it's been good for the offense to be able to compete and having screams and hoorahs kind of thing from both sidelines, having coaches run up and down the field when plays are made. So that's kind of the energy I would like to see.
Speaking of screams and hoorahs, I saw a video surface today on Instagram of Jeff Grimes catching a punt above his head. Can you confirm that this is not doctored video and that actually happened?
Oh, yeah, and it was not scripted at all. He didn't know it was coming, so it was good for him to react and just go out there and make a play. We thought he was going to drop it because he misjudged the ball, kind of tailed on him a little bit, but we can tell he still has a little bit of athleticism because he was able to reach over his head, and we thought he was going to hurt himself, so it was good that he caught it.
What does it do for you when you see your offensive coordinator of all people go out and do that in front of the team?
Oh, it pumps us up. A guy at his age, a guy who he's old. He can't move as well as he used to. So a guy to make a play on a ball like that, punts are very hard to catch. So him to be able to catch it, it was very funny.
How have things changed under him from year one to year two in terms of scheme and philosophy and what you want to accomplish specifically as an offense?
I feel like he's been able to establish more of his offense and been able to go with plays and stick with plays and be able to run them from different variations. And something that helps with our offense is it makes us confident because we know what he's going to run. And we have an understanding of the offense that he's going to establish in us, and it helps us to play faster when we know our assignments.
Your wide receivers coach, Fesi Satake, told me that he's getting what he expected out of the core five, the three seniors, yourself, Micah Simon, Talon Shumway, and then throw in Gunnar Romney and Dax Milne, who are a little bit younger. But then he mentioned Keanu Hill and said he's kind of been a surprise this camp. In your mind, who's been the surprise wide receiver out of the group, whether it's one of you core five or maybe it's Keanu?
Yeah, I knew Keanu was going to be good from when he came in. He's someone that played very high-level football in high school, but the two guys that have surprised me and really worked their way to where they are now is Braden Cosper and ALEVITATE. And so those are two guys that are expected to see some time this year, and those guys are expected to get a role this year as well. And it's good for us as the returning players because they push us and they make us better. So it's good for the whole group in general.
When I say Utah a week from Thursday, what goes through your mind?
I'm excited. What goes through my mind is the stadium atmosphere. Seeing all the red on the opposing side, all the adrenaline rushing, the heartbeat, and everyone knows that when we step on the field, it's a whole different environment. It's exciting to think about that. It's just in 10 days, 9 days now. If you can't, today is over.
Wide receiver Aleva Hifo with us on BYU Sports Nation. What does this team need to shore up over the next a little bit more than a week before game day? What's one thing you really feel like you need to get better at in time for the game?
We need to make sure that we're consistent. We cannot make any mistakes going into this game. And we need to make sure that we're finishing through all the plays and making sure we're finishing through all periods in practice and every play in general, making sure that we're emphasizing a finish. We all know how that game ended last year, and we want to make sure that we're going to emphasize finish not only for this first game, but the whole rest of the season. So that's one thing we need to finish is consistency and finish.
From what you can see on film, how is Utah's defense last year different compared to what they're going to put on the field this year?
They're not much different. They have they have a lot of returning starters. They lost 2 linebackers, but they're able to fill those with Francis Bernard and another guy named Lloyd. But otherwise they're still a very good defense all around. They have a very experienced secondary. They have a good linebacker core and a very good D-line. So that's something that we have to look forward to, is that we need to make sure that we match their intensity.
How do you match their intensity? What does that mean? Explain the specifics of that.
It kind of goes down to a one-on-one thing. We need to make sure that we're beating the guy over us. In order for us to succeed as a whole offense, we need to make sure that we're doing our 1-11 and making sure that whoever is over us, that we're making sure that we're doing our job and handling our one-on-ones.
Is your nickname still ALEVITATE, or has it changed to something else?
It still comes out sometimes. I haven't heard it as much, but some people still call it. They say it more as a joke now than the actual meaning. But because the person who came up with it was Squally, so he left. So there's no one really to hold it down anymore. But it still goes around sometimes. My girlfriend even called me. She thinks she's funny, so it's funny.
Okay, it'll stay with ALEVITATE until I hear something different. What's been your favorite moment of fall camp this fall?
It's always being with the guys. People may not like it. They're here all day. They're spending 8 to 8 with the same faces all day, with the same coaches. But that's definitely the part that I enjoy the most, is being able to see these guys every day. And I don't complain about it at all. I like seeing these guys, whether it's at practice, in the treatment room, or we're eating dinner together, and activities that we're having. It's nice getting to know just everyone on the team and not just people that you normally hang out with.
How has Zach Wilson progressed as he has started kind of uncertain of what his arm was going to be at the beginning of camp, coming through summer to the point he is now? So what kind of progression have you seen?
He surprised a lot of people. He even surprised himself when he first came out on the first day of practice. His progression, his treatment, and his rehab has grown rapidly over fall camp, especially from the off season till now. He wasn't too sure about it, but after that first day, he had all the confidence in the world in his arm, and he creates confidence for our receivers as well, knowing that he's going to have the ball in the right place.
What's he like as a leader in the pocket, in practice, when you're offense on defense?
He's definitely one of our leaders and a guy that's well respected on the field. Off the field, I wouldn't say it much because everyone just kind of looks at him and laughs at the things he says. But on the field, I'm glad it's a lot different because he's well respected and we know that he's definitely a leader for this team.
Why is it different off the field?
Because he's the diva. He knows that. Everyone on the team knows he's the diva. He's a drama queen. He's listening to Chris Brown all day. He's fixing his hair. He's ladies' man. You know, that's a typical stereotype for quarterback. Zach fits them all. So
he's the diva and he's listening to Chris Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then you obviously give him a hard time about this.
Oh yeah, I'm not the only one. The linemen give him a hard time. The D-line gives him a hard time. Everyone on the receiver corps, they give him a hard time because they understand that he is that diva off the field. But it's funny how much he switches. He has a switch, and when he's on the field, he's not that diva anymore. He's definitely our leader on the field too.
Who is the leader of the wide receivers group?
It's definitely there's 3 seniors in our room. Me, Talon, and Mike. We've definitely been able to kind of grow into that role as receivers. It's kind of different for me and Talon because we don't talk much. We're more on the quiet side, but being able to kind of fit into that role, and it doesn't also help the people that we're leading, but also helps ourselves too.
ALEVITATE. And I heard someone say if you're in trouble, not only can you help out, but just throw it up to Talon Shumway. Are you on board for that as well?
Oh yeah, Talon, he's always going to come down with the ball. We always make fun of him because he's the old guy in the room. He's the old guy on the team. He's been here for a while, but we know that his body has a little more left in him, and he's going to be able to come down with any ball that comes his way.
Aleva, thanks for the time, man. Great to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you.